Hello, everyone. I hope you're not too tired, and hope you're going to get a lot of energy from my talk. So, why should you live your life like an experiment? What are the kind of wonders that living a life as an experiment can bring? Today, I will share you a few of my stories, and hopefully that will inspire you to look at your life with different eyes. I was always a very curious person, interested in a lot of things, sometimes not directly connected to one another. Yet I was often told that some things are not possible, that I'm not stable for being interested in so many things, that I should focus only on one thing. And I've struggled a lot because of this. In environmental psychology, we believe that the social relationships that we have and their quality are considered elements in the environments in which we live, work, and learn. Living in environments with negative voices all around you all the time makes it easy to turn into someone who is afraid of taking risks, who stops asking questions, who just does things for the sake of immediate results, and who always believes that others have the answer. For a very long time, I also didn't trust myself enough to think that I may have some answers too. And I have a feeling that I'm not the only one in this room from the smiles that I see. Self-doubt and the belief that I can't are the ones stopping us from achieving. Self-doubt can be so overwhelming that it will block us into the anxiety of not knowing how to choose. So this is why you should learn to live your life like an experiment and embrace, let's see, what if, and I'll figure it out. Let these 3 thoughts guide you in your decision-making and discover the wonders around you. I will share how they worked for me, and hopefully that will inspire you to try them too in the future, well, near future. Let's see is what brought me to China in 2012. In 2008, with the world financial crisis, I couldn't find a job in urban planning anymore, but I still needed to support myself through university. So I started changing all sorts of jobs in customer service, marketing, sales, training. For those of you who are wondering, I started my first full-time work in year 2 in my bachelor's studies. In 2012, a former colleague from university suggested that I should come to China. She was already doing an internship in our field here. I remember her words saying, "Come, China is developing. You've studied urban planning for so long, you're wasting your life doing customer service." As a matter of fact, I had a pretty high salary at that time, and I didn't really think that working in customer service is a waste of my life. But her voice was stronger. So I told myself, let's see what China is like and what it has to offer. Needless to say that my plans to go back to urban planning didn't work out as I originally thought, even though I'm still in China now. What if got me to reach HSK 6 in Chinese in less than 5 years since I started studying the language. 当我第一次来到中国的时候，我什么都听不懂。对我而言，听起来全部都是一个声音。我当时甚至在怀疑，中国人的大脑生理结构会不会跟我们西方人不一样？因为我怎么也不明白，大家怎么会能用我当时觉得是一只鸟的声音来说话的。但是呢，我依然特别好奇，我特别想要知道大家到底在说什么，大家在想什么，他们的感受是什么。所以我就决定把我自己当做一个实验。我当时 没有什么期待，也没有什么学习的目标，只是在想，如果我会把我自己完全融入到中国的环境中，会是什么样的结果？所以呢，我就开始主动的聆听中国广播，看中国电影，在路上观察中国人说话的方式、肢体语言，尽可能去猜大家很有可能在讲什么。再后来就开始注意大街上的路牌，上面有汉字有拼音，就这么开始学人字，再找各种各样的一些广告牌，然后不断的练阅读能力，也就这样把整个城市当做我个人的教室。当我搬到英国之后，我才知道我这么做的结果是什么。那么这件事情带我到跟大家讲 I'll figure it out 的故事了。I'll figure it out is what got me to move to the UK to study a Master's of Science in Environmental Psychology in 2013. Even though when I moved from China to the UK, I only had the finances to survive there for 3 months. But at that time, I told myself, even if I don't have enough money, I'll surely find some part-time jobs to support me through my studies. There's no point in thinking about or worrying about problems that haven't happened yet and maybe will never happen. If they do happen, I'll figure them out. Many things did happen, and I did have to solve a lot of problems while in the UK, many things that I hadn't anticipated. I remember the hardest thing was actually finding part-time jobs to support myself. With really bad weather, very expensive food, coming from a design background with no academic research experience, very few friends, and always having to worry about my financial situation. I can honestly say that my year in the UK was the darkest year of my life. Looking back, I can say I was on the verge of depression. However, to keep myself sane and to recreate an environment in which I used to be very happy, aside from going to classes and any part-time job that I could find, I would shut myself in my room and watch Chinese soap operas, movies, listen to music. For the same reason, to bring back that connection with China, I also registered for an optional course in Chinese at the university. And I remember the teacher, the first time I went there to register, saying, "I'm sorry, we can't teach you. You're much too advanced for what we can offer here." And I was, what? What does too advanced even mean? So I begged her, let me attend the course. That's when I realized that me turning the city into a classroom while living in China had paid off. And I realized that the environment had taught me a lot more Chinese than I even realized. Another thing that I hadn't realized about my time in China before moving to the UK was that I had gotten some habits that I didn't have before moving to China, like drinking hot water. The moment I realized that I started having that habit was in the UK, when the manager of one of my part-time jobs looked at me and said, "Are you crazy? You're drinking hot water, no tea." You know, Brits and their love for tea. And that's the moment when I realized that I was holding a mug in my hand with only hot water, no tea in it. It took a few seconds to take in the moment, and then I proudly told him, "Yes, drinking hot water is good." And then I sat down at my desk and continued to do my work. Yet another example that the environment in which we live, work, and learn will influence us in a positive or a negative way if we let them. Do I regret any of my decisions? Has everything worked out the way I planned them to? Not at all. And some of those moments were really, really difficult ones. However, I have no way of knowing if I would have chosen in any other way if it wouldn't have been worse. Regrets and wanting to change the past are not helpful. You think the way you think now because of all the experiences that you have had. If there's someone in the room that desires to go back in time to change their choices, I'll tell you a sad truth. If you were to go back, you would go back to exactly the same mindset that you had when you made the decision in the first place, and you would end up making the exact same decision. Everything that you have experienced after you have made that decision would wipe out. So thinking in any other way will just block you into the past and not allow you to enjoy the wonders of your future, even though we can't always know what the future will bring. That's the definition of future, right? So I hope that my talk will inspire you today to start living your life as an experiment. Be more mindful of the environment in which you are so that you can get out of or not get stuck into that anxiety of not knowing what to choose, not knowing what is the right or wrong decision. Let's see, what if, and I'll figure it out, guide you through that process. To give you a bit of a push in that direction, let's turn ourselves into a little experiment now. And so we're going to experiment with a what if. What if I look the person next to me in the eyes and just smile? Don't say anything, just look that person in the eyes and smile. Come on, I'm counting you. You have 30 seconds for that. So just look, don't say anything, just look and smile. It doesn't matter if you know each other, if you don't know each other, just look and smile. I'm counting you. Nobody gets out of the room if you're not doing it. All right, I'll give you 5 more seconds. Just look the person in the eye, look the person next to you in the eyes and smile. Now, pretty good, very good. Now, in your gift bags, you have a postcard. Pull it out, and you have a pen as well. And take 30 more seconds to write on it. How did you feel? What was it like to turn yourself into an experiment and do something that you didn't do before? So everybody should have a postcard. And so write on it, how did it feel to do something different, to live for a moment in an experiment? English, Chinese, doesn't matter. You write whatever language you feel comfortable in. So how did it feel to live for a moment as an experiment? Was it really that scary? Was it, how did it feel? everybody's stuck. Like, oh my God, what am I going to write? Just write how you felt. Give yourself that opportunity to do something different. And I do hope that the pens can write. All good? Almost? Now, if you did look someone in the eye, then I would invite you to exchange postcards with that person. And keep the postcard that you have received as a reminder to start living your life as an experiment, to enjoy the wonders that await you. Let's see, what if, and I'll figure it out, accompany you on this journey. Thank you.